everybody, and welcome back. Well, I'm so glad to be back in the South for a while. We're going to be here for most of the spring, and I've enjoyed being here, visiting with friends and family. And one of my neighbors just walked by. She probably thinks I'm crazy standing in front of the window. But anyway, so we are standing in one of my favorite rooms in this home. The home is designed in an antebellum style. It's not a very old home. It's fairly new, but it's designed to look as if it's been here for ages. And we are in my dining room, and if you can see, and I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute and show you the room, but you can see that it is nothing about this house is contemporary. Not one item in the house, not even the wallpapers, not the light fixtures. There's nothing, and that's what I so love about it. I love every type of design. I really like contemporary, and you probably have seen a little bit of that in our Florida home, but you won't find any contemporary here. Now I've stepped across the room so you can get an idea of from a different perspective. I'm looking out the window area, and I will show you the finishes, the window treatments. Everything stays true to the era in which this house was designed, and everything, including the mirror, it's not it's an antique mirror. It's not the shiny mirror that you see in our other house. And there's my silver set, but I wanted to show you I have extra. There's an extra pot there, an extra pot there, and if you know how I should be arranging that on the buffet, let me know, because maybe I should just put them away. I don't need that many out. I just like the way it looks, but if there's a particular way they should be set, I'd love to hear from you. And there is the wood-hewn door. Those go swing in and out to the kitchen area. Wood-hewn floors, traditional carpets. Then we go over to the china cabinet, and I usually don't use this china. I like to use it for decoration. I have other sets of china to use, but I think it looks pretty in there. And then I have the French doors that go out, and there is my light fixture, which I adore. Then when I'm not using this dining room table for a dinner or any other event, I will usually put a large centerpiece on it, and in the summer it's much larger than you're seeing here, because I have my own hydrangeas that I harvest, and they're just bountiful in the summertime, so that arrangement can get pretty large in the summer. And when we do have guests over and we're having dinner, generally I'll put several small arrangements out, and I'll show you how that works too. The arrangement you're seeing now is on a plateau, and that is a sectional plateau that can be moved. See it, I'll show you. It comes apart, and you can take this piece and that piece and put it together and make a circular plateau, which is always nice to do. Or sometimes I just don't use the plateau at all, because it is it's pretty large and it takes up a lot of space. But I'm going to show you the arrangements that I like to use whenever I have a lot of guests sitting at the table. This dining room is a location where we've had friends and family. We've had great conversation. We've told great jokes. We have had children learning their table manners, and we've had adults who've had a glass of wine or two too many and forgotten their table manners. I have had dinners that were nothing but plain old comfort food, and then others where I've experimented and it was a complete failure. Now I think you can see why this is one of my favorite rooms in our home. By the way, if you're a decorator or you're just interested in decorating, that wallpaper behind me, that's a limited edition woodblock paper. It's of the River Seine. Well, it has a lot of meaning for me and my husband, and I'll tell you about that in another video. But right now I want to show you how we decorate the center of the table when I have a lot of guests or if I have a buffet around the table, and when I don't want a tall arrangement. In that china cabinet behind me, there's a huge collection of these crystal rose bowls, and I generally will fill them with flowers and make a center arrangement, and it's very easy. We can all do it, and I'll show you how. When you have a tall arrangement in the center of your table, it's hard for your guests to have a conversation. So you're sitting at the table and you're trying to talk to the person in that chair. So what do? You go back and forth. It does not work out. If not, you're going to be talking to this person all night or this person, but this poor person over here isn't going to get to see your smiling face. Well, the first thing I did was fill the rose bowl with water. And I don't use anything to stabilize the flowers. I don't put the grid across the top with the florist tape, but that is something that you might want to try. If you want to go with something much more casual, you could even use just pottery or teacups, anything you can find to hold the flowers, because it's basically a simple concept that can be used for casual or formal. So I have the rose bowl full of water. And then I have purchased roses at the grocery, which we've all seen. And that's very simple. We don't have to get a florist involved. I trim the rose off pretty short because some of these rose bowls are tiny. This one in particular is smaller. I have one smaller than that that only holds maybe 2 roses. And then we put them in, and it doesn't take many, especially these smaller ones. And then you have a nice little centerpiece. This is just a collection, part of my collection. I have several, but I'm going to show you something else you can do if you don't want to use a plateau. If you don't want to use a plateau, then don't use a plateau. Just scatter the vases of flowers. Now, like I said, use pottery for more casual, or teacups, whatever you can find. But I like the idea of having them scattered. You can go as far as 6 or 8 long, and it really is a nice presentation, and it's very simple, and we can all do it. Do we like this idea? Because now we can see our guest and we can all have a nice conversation. And I'm so glad you were with me today. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be a subscriber, please tap the subscribe button. Thank you.